insane. I remember like he
That's got
shouted
to
me
feel
out
pretty
there.
good though. Mike Mo's like,
He's a legend,
for
bro.
people that don't know, Mike Mo Capaldi's like at that time was like a really big pro, like Road for Girl,
Girl, yeah,
Lakai.
he
What
was
else? Like a
insane.
lot of
Him and Malto, man, Mike Mo, bro. Thank you.
Malto. We used to call you and like
Oh yeah, baby
Rue and Rudy.
Malto.
We used to call
Yeah,
y'all Malto because y'all were getting active on those rails, bro.
yeah, for sure. Shout out Malto though. He was
So
a.
you got a couple of other tricks I want to ask you about. The double tray flip cons,
Oh
that
yeah.
was crazy, and the impossible lip, dude. Can you walk me through those? Like just the back three kick flip down Edison, the double tray flip down cons, and the impossible lip down the handrail. Like
I'll
how are those
say.
sessions like?
I'll start off with the back three kickflip. You know, when I went to that spot, Wesley told me, he was like, "You got a back three kickflip this spot." And then I was like, "Okay." And I was just like, I was like, I told Wesley, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna back three it a couple times." You know what I mean? By a couple times, next thing you know, I back three it like over like 16 times. I back three it like 16 times, and that's it. All right, I'm ready. And then I was sticking it. And one of the footage that you see on my promo videos coming up to my Inspire part, you see like my shoe ripping off. Like my foot just goes through my shoe, just like explodes and just like destroyed my shoe. And I had to go back to the house to go put on some other shoes, some other like Supras. Now I came back and then and did it. I did that. And then from there,
That was crazy when you did that.
yeah, that was
That was probably the
insane.
one that won you that contest. So
Yeah. Shout out Macmo. I ain't gonna lie.
so that's all in his Inspire part. You guys check it out YouTube. Sergio Ledesma Inspire part. What about the double tray cons?
The double tray
Double
cons.
360 flip cons. What we're talking about.
Yeah. I double tray cons. I was so random though. Like I just really just caught out Wesley and I was like, dude, I just learned the trick and I was just like, I gotta just tray flip, double flip something. You know what I mean? And I was just like, man, what could I do it on? And then next thing you know, I was just like,
Have you ever done that trick down like anything before? Like
I have.
practicing it like down fives or whatever?
Yeah, but not as huge as Cons Gap.
Cons back in the day, Cons Gap was this like, legendary San Antonio gap that pros would come to, and like it was
A
big gap,
yeah.
well-known gap. And so you just took it down that. That's impressive. Did it take you a long time or you got it pretty quick?
Not. I got it pretty quick. I was surprised. I just kept on like committing and until like I made it. But once I rolled away, it just felt like it just like it didn't happen. Like damn, like I really did this. I was insane.
What about the impossible lip slide down that 1/8 rail?
Oh yeah, the impossible lip was crazy. Like I would say, because if you look back on the footage, like they put a clip on it, or like I almost sacked the rail. You know what I mean? And like I like impossible lip, I kind of missed it. And then I was so close on sacking, and I was kind of scared because like the run up to it, it's like tile. It's not really tile. It's like a bunch of like little like bricks that just like they're just like
No,
glued
yeah, that's
together
spot
and
sketchy.
shit.
That's
It's
spot
really
sketchy.
sketchy. So I was like, I gotta do this. I remember Wesley telling me, he was like, man, if you land this trick, I got you on some Whataburger or something. I was just like, I bet, sure.
You're like, say less.
Sent it. Yeah.
So then, this is all around the same time, but then you also do like a backside 360 down the LBJ High School 12 stair. Was that pretty challenging, or like I know one thing about you is like you got back threes on lock. Was that like easy, or it was like still hard?
Yeah. Kind of surprisingly though, I wouldn't say I was surprised because I love back threes. Like
Did it take you a long time, or it's pretty quick?
it's weird how I learned that trick too. But yeah, that trick down LBJ 12 probably took me like 6 tries, dude. Nice.
What?
Yeah, like 6 tries.
Dude, that thing's huge.
Yeah, it's really huge. It's nuts. I don't know how. And like the rails are like so narrow, so it's like for me to avoid those rails, I have to just shoot forward. You know what I mean? Just like
Okay, so
gap it.
one thing I want to ask you about is contest skating.
Oh
When
yeah.
did you get into that? You started like there was like a run where you just started winning them.
Oh yeah, there was when I was young. Really, like I was.
Talk to me
just
about
really,
those winnings and stuff.
I was really consistent in all of them. Like I would always go to Houston. Shout out Big O and Southside Skate Shop. They're really cool. They're really sick too. They would always come
Legends.
through. They had the Make-A-Wish. They had all the pros come. They would always throw contests. I remember I won a contest that see, this was really crazy though, because when I was 10 years old, you know what I mean? Or like, no, when I was 11, because that's when I started skateboarding, I'd always tell my mom, like, hey, mom, I want to go to Woodward. You know what I mean? Can you send me to Woodward and this and that?
Did you ever go?
No. Oh, I did.
You've been to Woodward?
Woodward. I went to Woodward, but look, this story is so crazy because, like, I was like 11 years old, like crying, like I was like, man, I want to go, like, you know what I mean? Like, man, how come all these like little rich kids get to go and fly out
Yeah.
there? You know what I mean? Next thing you know, my homie, my filmer Wesley, you know what I mean? As I talked about, he was like, hey, there's this contest, you gotta go hit up. You know what I mean? And I was just like, this is like, hey, you gotta go. You know what I mean? There's a chance for you to like win some money and probably go to Woodward. You know what I mean? And I was just like, I bet. You know what I mean? But I remember I was playing a guy because I always wanted to go to Woodward. You know what I mean? I was like the kid's dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I won that contest, first place, and I got a full expense paid trip to go to Woodward.
The Southside contest took you there?
Yeah, the Southside contest.
How long did you get to go to Woodward for?
Actually, it was just for a week. I went there for a week.
A week? Okay.
Yeah, I went there for a week, but then I won another contest at Woodward, and it had me stay there another week so I could go to the finals. And it was a crazy experience. Like, people in my cabins were.
What age were you at this time?
I was probably like 15.
Okay.
14,
So you go to Woodward in Pennsylvania or California?
Pennsylvania.
Damn. Okay.
And I was like sharing the cabin with like fucking
pros, like that got people that became pro.
Yeah, I was in there with Jamie Foy. I remember he.
I don't even know any. This is like the first time I'm learning about this live right now.
Yeah, he was there.
Did you talk to him or no?
Yeah, he was. He used to skate for Hurley back then.
Was he still big?
Then. Yeah, he was pretty
chunky?
big, but like little chunky. But dude was killing it.
He's
bro.
always killing it.
Dude,
Shout out
killing
Jamie
it,
Foy,
bro. Like nose grind, like the 12 stair, or it was like a 10 stair, somewhere around there. He was just killing it. And one of the best homies I was really like kicking it with was Zion.
Zion Wright? Oh,
yes,
snap.
Him.
Another pro.
Man, bro, like next thing you know, like I see this dude like just alley-oop 180, one of the biggest gaps I seen, like there at Woodward. What else?
I'm sure you were crushing it too. Tray flipping everything, back doing everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody was hyped.
You were getting hyped?
Yeah, everybody was hyped.
Were you skating that foam pit? Did you ever try to send in the foam pit?
The mini mega ramp, bro. I was insane.
Dude, for real?
Yeah, that was
Dude,
crazy.
one of the things I wanted to always do is be in a foam pit. Like, learn a trick into a foam pit. Like, just whatever. Like, the most
just throw yourself.
Craziest trick. Just try it into a foam pit because I'm just like, I'll be fine, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm pretty sure you still get broke off somehow. Maybe.
Yeah, in a way. If you, like, miss the foam pit.
Yeah.
You're out of there.
Yeah, nah. Okay, so you win a contest. You're going to Woodward. All this success going on. Are you working any jobs around this time, or like, have you ever like worked a regular job or like?
Actually, I'll say because this was like early. Like it's crazy how early I blew up in skateboarding. Like early on days, like so I didn't get my first job till I was like 16, 17. You know what I mean? I remember I worked at Subway. I don't know why.
How'd that work? How'd that go?
Fucking hated that job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just like
crazy.
Customers were just like rude.
Yeah.
People just didn't care about anything.
Yeah, giving free sandwiches to cops because they get free sandwiches. I was like,
yeah, they definitely get. I feel like they get hooked up.
Yeah,
all the time.
they get. Yeah. But,
so did you graduated high school?
Yeah, I graduated high school.
And then you were in. So we're like going to Woodward, graduate high school, and then like still skating, filming a lot.
Yeah.
Then you got in like got in a little trouble after that, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Cause ever since I got kicked out,
you were in the street for a little bit, then you kind of get a little run-ins with the law here and there, but nothing too serious.
It wasn't nothing serious. Like really, just going to school. You know what I mean? I used to smoke a lot of weed, and you know, like I look back on it. You know what I mean? I used to like when you're young and skateboarding, like you really get this like big little ego, but at the end of the day, like it was nothing. I knew like I was still a kid. I was still had to go to school. You know what I mean? And then, but I always wanted to do what I wanted, so I started like just like chilling, smoking, going into class, smelling like weed and stuff, getting kicked out. The principal took away my board. I remember my principal took away my board, and then he told me he was like, um, you're not gonna get this board back. You know what I mean? Unless you come out on like a Thrasher magazines or whatever. And I told Mr. Fierce or was it Principal Fierce or whatever. And I was just like, oh, I do come out on Thrasher. He was like, he was like,
He's
what you
like,
mean?
show me.
He was like, you're lying to me? And I was just like, nah. He was like, I'm gonna look you up. See if you're lying to me. You know what I mean? And I was just like, and if you're not lying to me, I'll give you back your board. And I was just like, I bet. You know what I mean? So I went. I remember I was like my last period of school, and then he calls me. He was just like, he calls me through the intercom, and he was just like, "Hey, Sergio Ledesma, can I see you in the principal's office?" And I was just like, "I bet." I'm all thinking like I
The
got in
last day of
trouble. You know
school.
what I mean?
Damn.
Like, and I was like, "Hey, what happened?" Boom, boom, and he comes back. Oh no, I go to him, and then he tells me, he was like, "Are you kidding me?" He was like, "You weren't lying to me. Like, you actually come out on Thrasher or whatever." Woo woo. And I was just like, yeah, it was I told you, you know what I mean? Like why would I lie about that? You know what I mean? Like I mean ain't nothing. You took away my board, but I was getting hooked up, so I didn't really care about it, you know what I mean? But he ended up giving me back my board. Actually, he like printed out like all these little like I guess like little like printed his little pages of like me on my Thrasher part and stuff. And he gave them out to the teachers or something. He told me something like that. And next thing you know, he was like, bro, like you don't know how much I loved Thrasher when I was a kid. He told me, and I was just like, for real. He was just like, yeah. He was like,
That's crazy.
I was like, can you sign this? You know what I mean? And I'm gonna frame it on my wall. And I was just like, man, I was only like 15 years old. I was like, okay, I guess. You know what I mean? So I just signed it just to get out of trouble. Just so I just really wanted to leave the principal's office. I was just like, all right, bet, boom, boom, and then he framed it on the wall. I remember when I would get in trouble, like when I was in high school, my mom will come, you know what I mean, to come pick me up or something, and then she'll see my like my photo on the wall, and it was crazy, it was insane. She was just like, "What are you doing up there?" And I was just like, "I don't know." The teacher just, like something happened, you know what I mean, and then she was just like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "And you're over here getting in trouble," and I was just like, "Yeah, I know," but it was part of it, you know what I mean?
No, for sure. So okay, so you went over the principal's cool with you at some point. You get your autograph.
Yeah,
Things are going good towards the end. You go to high school. You finish high school. And fast forwarding a little bit, you're winning contest. You win the Spitfire contest. Eventually, you win that.
yeah.
What did you get? What did you get as like prize?
What I got was just like they'll post me on Instagram like a bunch of
They
times.
send you product
They send me product. They
for how
sell
long?
me
How long were
like
you on Spitfire?
for like a whole year.
Okay,
A whole
boxes of
year.
Spitfire all the time.
Boxes of Spitfire, shirts,
Fresh,
hoodies,
super fresh.
beanies, fresh, dude. I was like, man, like I don't know. It was pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Freshman year was like the liveliest year of my life. Like,
So then, don't want to get into too much of your business here, but you end up catching a case eventually. Um,
yeah,
you were just sort of just in the streets at this time. Just at the same time, things are going good, but at the same time, skateboarding it's a hard industry to actually make money in.
yeah,
So like, a lot of people just turn into other methods of just like getting by.
yeah, for sure.
So like,
Nah, skateboarding was going good. You know what I mean? But then like my filmer, that film my Thrasher part. He ended up like having twins, and then he moved to Dallas, so I wasn't able to be like to film that much. You know what I mean? Like that's how it was. And then next thing you know, I was 18, and then I was like about to graduate high school and stuff, and then started smoking a lot of weed, and then I started getting into trouble. I started selling weed, dude, just to get by, and doing stuff. I was still getting hooked up, but I wasn't making no money yet. You know what I mean? So I was just like pretty much just like whatever. You know what I mean? A lot of teachers said I got potential, but as a young kid, you're just like, like I knew I was gonna try to make it in skateboarding, but at the same time, it was just like, man, like, how am I able to, go on trips or stuff like that? And then I went to Vegas with Damien. That was pretty cool. We got to like
Shout out Damien.
yeah, shout out Damien, shout out my boy. That's my brother, my twin for sure.
So you're dibbing and dabbing in the streets. You're still skating. You're going taking trips, filming, dropping parts. Um, at what time? So you said you're 26 now,
Yeah.
and then you said around 18 you start to just dabble a little bit.
Yeah, I started partying too much, man. That's what really happened.
So like a quick like run through of like the next 3 years after that. Just what happened after high school, like filming with Catfish, like getting, posting parts, and then
yeah, I was trying to make the best out of it. You know what I mean? Because I knew like people would tell me I was talented, so kind of knew in my head like, hey, people wanted to see me skate. So I started, skateboarding. Even though I was getting in trouble at the same time, and then I caught my first case. My first case was just a little misdemeanor. I just got caught up with some marijuana, and then I was just like, okay. Then I started partying too much. I started drinking, I guess. You know what I mean? I started just zoning off, not really worried about skateboarding that much. And, next thing you know, I turned 19. I turned 20. And then it just led to some hanging around with the wrong crowd. And so, yeah, wrong crowd. And I was just like, man, okay, now I'm just really just like.
So we're in 2024 now. You were released when? 2024 or 23?
I was released
this
February.
year or last year?
I was like this year.
You just got out this year, right?
I just got out this year.
And you did 4 years?
I did like 4 years and like 8 months.
Okay, so damn near 5 years.
Almost, yeah.
So like going to like back to like 2019.
2019, I got locked up.
So lead me up into like 2018 into 2019. And like, you obviously eventually you catch a case. We don't really have to get into your business of everything unless you want to kind of let us know a little bit of insight. But
nah, it's cool. Like I was just really like, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like when I was like 17, 18, and then I hit 19, and I started like dealing drugs. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I just started dealing drugs, and it was just what it was. And I was just like, man, like, it was gonna help me get by. You know what I mean? I was just living the fast life. I was getting easy money. Next thing you know, I really got turned up.
Got caught up into some
Yeah, I got turned up. Then I got caught up. I went up, and I was just like.
So you're outside hustling and stuff.
Yeah, I was hustling. I was I was doing what I could. You know what I mean? I was really locked in the streets. I wouldn't say like, you know what I mean? It was just really like the neighborhood I grew up in. You know what I mean? It was just like an everyday thing. I was just seeing people hustling, getting money, and I was just like, man, I'm just gonna sit back. Even though I was talented, I was just like, man, I still gotta eat. I still gotta give my brothers like, you know what I mean? Help them get some food too. You know what I mean? Look out for them. I love them. You know what I mean?
So I'll leave this like open-ended. You could leave it as, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And then
you don't have to go into like hella like details, but like, what charges did you end up getting like charged for with like, because it was like actually turned into like some federal stuff, right?
Yeah, like around 2019, I would say 18. That's when I really started. When like 2019 came, yeah, I kind of got locked up like towards the end of 2019. But then, I got caught up. I got caught up with like
wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place at the wrong time. I don't really want to speak on it too much, but at the end of the day, you know,
you were just doing some stuff that was just the old you.
Yeah, but bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck. Like,
you got caught up on some like whole other stuff and turned into some serious.
I ain't gonna lie, I got caught up with like 4 bricks, controlled substance. Distributing.
What year was this?
2019.
Okay. Little did you know, in 1 year there'd be a COVID-19 pandemic, right?
Oh yeah.
So leading up to that, you get charged. You get arrested. You get charged, and then do you take it to trial, or you just sort of like?
When the DA picked me up, they were like being crazy. I was just like, man, I don't know nothing, bro. Like, I'll just leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like I'll just be like, I was just acting stupid on them. Like, I don't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like,
did they tell you formally, like right away, like how much time you're facing, or that came later?
Nah, I came later. I just shut up.
Okay. So So walk me through like before, things sort of start picking up and you actually end up in Beaumont. Like, were you in Bear County right away?
Yeah, I was on some like federal facilities. I was like in some geos, they call them. Like, I don't know. I was out there with everybody on dope cases and stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay. So do you end up taking this to trial or you end up just going? You just end up doing your time?
Well, actually, like, I was thinking about going to trial. You know what I mean? But then I read my discovery, and then next thing you know, I'm like, man, I'm cooked. You know what I mean? Like, like ain't nobody ain't loyal. I guess like how it was back in the day. That's what all the OGs told me. You know what I mean? But I just knew, like, you know what I mean? I read my discovery, and then I found out that the whole investigation, how it started, was like one of the homeboys, you know, got caught up with like 50 grand coming back from Atlanta. And I mean, I don't really want to speak on this shit, but at the end of the day, like, I already did my time for it. You know what I mean? So they can't charge me twice for what I did. You know what I mean? But that's how my investigation started. You know what I mean? It happened like a couple months before my arrest. And then, yeah, he got caught up with that. And then next thing you know, they were keeping an eye on us. And it was pretty crazy.
So you get so you get charged not in a state case though, it was a federal case.
Yeah, federal.
Okay. So then you end up in federal prison in Texas.
Yeah.
And what would you say like your experience was like in the feds?
Insane. People getting stabbed on a daily basis. If you're a rat and you go federal, better not snitch, for real. Because you don't get it. They got people getting like, they gonna lock you in a room in a 2-man cell. They're gonna just throw you in there. They're gonna tell you, hey, bro, we're gonna talk to you about something. This is gonna have like 2 people just holding the door on you. You're gonna get hit with locks. And get stabbed. For sure. And you can't even peep at stuff like that.
So right away you had to be like, right away you had to be ready for it. Or you just like.
You just gotta just go. It is what you sign up for. So it's just like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I went in there like, I was young.
But you're a real like you're a real person, like super straight.
Yeah, I was straightforward.
Person.
Yeah, I'll tell them like, hey, bro, like my charge is this and that. You know what I mean? And this is what happened. You know what I mean? We all like, you know what I mean? Want to believe me or not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good for it. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gotta worry about that. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta worry about me telling on somebody or something like that. Like, that's not how it goes. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, like, I'm in there in federal prison. It was crazy. Like, seeing the stuff that how it really goes down, like down there, like it was crazy. It was insane.
Did you run into anyone you know, like from SA in there?
Yeah, a lot of people.
People we know too, or just like homies from high school?
I'll say some people from high school. Actually, a bunch of artists. You know,
like musicians, or like.
Yeah, musicians. Some musicians from like San Antonio. R.I.P. my homeboy Glizzy. He's a real one, bro. Yeah. He just got out like 2 weeks. I remember I was in Beaumont Medium, and then he got released, and
yeah.
The next thing you know, 2 weeks out, he got killed.
Like here in SA or like?
Yeah, here at a mall, something like that. Getting his haircut.
Oh wait, was that North Star Mall one?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew him?
Yeah.
Oh dang! Like from the feds?
From federal prison, yeah.
Bro, I saw that on the news. I think I told the homie about that. I was like,
yeah, it's my homie Glizzy. He was an artist. I told him like he was like, man, because I started writing music in there. You know what I mean? I mean, like, what else can you do? You know what I mean? You to work out. You know, I was studying. I was reading books. I was just doing my own thing. You know what I mean? Working out a lot and just writing music. You know what I mean? Just to buy time. You know what I mean? Because I was really like, I never took music serious. But then when I got locked up, I was just like, you know what? I was like, man, I could do this. And like, I know the vibes. I know the taste. I know what people like. I know what I like. You know what I mean? So
for sure. Yeah. So with that time in the cell, you had time to think. You're writing, you're reading books.
Yeah. And then
a lot of time has gone by though. So like, what was it like finding out like COVID-19 was about to go down? Like, how did you find out?
Oh, I didn't even know what that was. I was seeing all over the news. Everybody in the news was tripping out. Everybody in the fast was tripping out too. Everybody was like, "Man, are we gonna die in here?" Boom, we're over here telling the CEOs like, "Hey, what's going on out there?" Is like, "Oh, it's a pandemic." Like, I'm over here scared and stuff, saying something about your
Because that
lungs.
happened in 2020. So like,
In
were you
2020.
already in there, or you were finna go over there?
No, I wasn't at the pen yet. I wasn't in federal prison yet. I wasn't at the prison. I was at the jails. But during when I was in the jails, like everybody was just panicking. Everybody was like, "Man, what's going on?" Everybody thought we were gonna get bond. Everybody thought we were gonna just get released on ankle monitor. Some people that
That
had
would have
like,
been crazy if they just let y'all go. Like,
yeah, it was like, but you know what I
like
mean?
yo,
Like
y'all, we
everybody was
don't know what
just
to do.
everybody was just making up stuff, and I was just like, bro, I don't want to believe it. You know what I mean? I don't want to get my hopes
Was
up.
your family or anybody tapping in like, hey, hey, this is about to go crazy, like, or you
Yeah.
just seen it on the like news or like hearing
Yeah,
from
but
people?
my family Mexican. They're just like, man, we don't believe in no COVID-19.
They told you to drink some 7-Up.
Yeah, they're like, we don't believe in that.
They
It's
told
like,
you
if you
put-
believe in that, you gonna die. You know
They
what
told
I
you put
mean?
Vicks.
Yeah, they're just like, man, just wait. I was just like, all right. I was like, man, hang on. I knew I was like, man, I knew in my heart like I am finna go out in prison. Not like that. Not no COVID. You know what I mean? Even though I had asthma, I was really scared. I was just
Okay,
like,
you have asthma.
yeah, I had asthma. That was really
That's
because
scary, bro. To think like there's some viral like respiratory
'cause-
things about to unleash in the
because
world,
it
and
has
you're
to do
like stuck in
something-
prison. Like,
Yeah, because it has to do something with your breathing. And I was just like, man, I was like, I had asthma when I was a kid. I was just like, man, nah, just in my head. I'm just gonna brush it off. You know what I mean?
so okay, so it finally comes. I mean, was there like a lot of protocols like masks and like mandatory
yeah.
vaccines, or like did they leave that up to
Man,
y'all?
there were some stupid ass protocols. They were telling me like, hey, you gotta stand 6 feet away from an inmate. And I'm just like, how? Like, how is that possible? Y'all got like probably like in the jails.
Did
you
that
got,
make
like,
it more like less fights because everyone had to be away from each other? Like you had to, like we have
it
to
was
be far
just-
away.
They were just trying to make it sound good.
Okay, it still went. Everything went down all the time.
Everything was just, you know what I mean? People still fighting. You know what I mean? Ain't got nothing to do with anybody. Just knew that if somebody was sick in the whole pod, everybody was finna get sick. I probably got COVID probably like 3 times when I was.
You
locked
had
up.
it in there.
Yeah.
Did anybody like get it really bad to where they had to be sanctioned, like taken away?
Yeah. And some people were like, it was crazy, but it was mostly like the people that were like diabetic and stuff like that. People that really had like,
Did they let them go somewhere else or like
some of them did.
get some treatment or something? Or,
Yeah,
like,
some of them did go home, not just because of that, but they just were like, I guess they were on monitor outside, and then they were just like, you know what I mean? Like, you're finna still do some time, you know what I mean? But we're just gonna have you out there with your family because, you know, such and such.
That's
but
crazy.
People that would get that, we kind of sus because we're like, are you going
that's
home?
not fair, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like, how you going home? You know what I mean? Everybody getting COVID. Some people ain't here diabetic and they ain't going home on serious charges, and you're just going home on the same charge that man got. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so before we were on camera, you mentioned that you were locked up with Pooh Shiesty. Is that true?
oh yeah,
Like the rapper?
yeah. Shout out Shiesty.
Like, was he in Texas? Like,
Nah, that's when I went to Pollock, Louisiana. He was cool. I mean, I didn't really talk to the dude. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be.
he's still
yeah.
in there, I think.
Yeah, he's still locked up. Be the boy. for
That's
sure.
crazy that you like that was probably right after like he was blowing up, or like right after, maybe around that same time.
Yeah, he was really cool though. He was just like, I was just like, you know what I mean? I just peep game. You know what I mean? I just shut up and just peep game. He was just like always like to himself and stuff. He really wasn't like
Yeah, he wasn't really like
loud
talking
or nothing,
yeah.
bro. He was just like doing his time, get out, and then, you know what I mean? Like, next thing I heard, he was like posting shit like on live or some shit. That's what I heard from the inmates and shit, and they just shipped them off to like Victorville, California.
Okay. So you also, had mentioned to me, because I know when you first got out, I seen you at the park and we were just skating and stuff. But you had mentioned you had like I don't know if it was a cellie or like one of the inmates in there with you.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had unfortunately had a unfortunate like incident with some substances.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I was in Beaumont, you know what I mean? I would always like play spades, the card game. But I always play spades, ace high, you know what I mean? And shout out Will. Will was really a good player. He was my partner, bro. He was a real like a OG. He was probably like 50, but they had charged him with I guess some bricks too. But he's like been in trouble for so long and stuff like that. It was like a criminal, like a repeated offender. You know what I mean? And they gave him like 30 years. So he ended up, you know what I mean? The only way, for him to escape, I guess, the prison world was like, you know what I mean, get high of like K2 and stuff, because that's really big in there, you know what I mean? But next thing you know, they're lacing that stuff with fentanyl. And he was my space partner, you know what I mean? And we'd always play together. Next thing you know, I'll be in my cell. I remember it was rack up time. I go to my cell, I'm on the top range, and then I look down, and my cellular's like, bro, like, Will, bro. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, Will, they just put him out in the stretcher. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, bro, like, Will's gone, bro. I was like, bro, he looked like he ain't breathing, bro. Look at him, look at him. And I was just like, boom, I'm all looking. I was like, damn, not Will. I'm like, what you mean? He was like, man, that's that stuff, bro. Like, man, prison's so fucked up, bro. Like,
So people were getting whatever in there, like fentanyl, like you were saying.
oh, they were getting everything in there. Crazy, bro.
So like, do you think like prison, in a way, like saved your life? I mean, like the reason I say that is because like maybe if you would have continued down that lifestyle that you were living, that you feel like prison actually was valuable to you in a sense, to like be out the way over there and like be away from the like staying out the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll say prison really saved my life. You know what I mean? Because I probably would have got myself into like some deep shit with the people. You know what I mean? Down there and shit.
So fast forward to nowadays, do you feel like you like changed? You're a changed person, and if so, like what do you feel like how prison like has matured you overall?
I'll say, man, like I learned a lot of respect. You know what I mean? I see like how it did change me, how it made me like a strong person, a strong person inside, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, like ain't nobody got you. Say it like how they say they got you. You know what I mean? So I had to realize that, you know what I mean? Being gone like almost 5 years is insane, because you really see some people choose colors. You know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna lie, like I was just like I had to just think like, hey, my life isn't here. It ain't out there. You know what I
So
mean?
also, I want to ask you, like, when you go into like, I know like Texas like is different from like Cali. You know what I'm saying? They got like different laws and like different rules when you get in. But is like right when you get in, do you get segregated based on like you being Mexican, like right away? Like, do they ask if you bang or whatever, or like
Oh yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
rep right away, or you
Off
just
the rip, like they gotta ask you, like, man, you got like, hey, take off your shirt. See if you got any tattoos on you.
like the guards or like the people, like
Nah,
your cellies?
the people really just come up to you as soon as you touch down in prison. You get you're the first one they hit up. Hey, bro, what's up? What's up with you? What's your case? What you doing? You gotta show your paperwork in like 30 days. Woo woo, and all this. Like, I bet, say less. Checking if I got any Spurs tattoo and shit like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people trying to make me claim Orejon. You know what I mean? That's like the gang and shit, the prison gang in there. Shit, they actually bang. You know what I mean? Like,
But is it kind of like Cali where it's like the whites have to be with the whites, blacks be with the blacks, or is it more like open?
yeah, I mean, it's open, but it is segregated. When shit goes down, you gotta ride with your people. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
So it's
Yeah, I
just
was
like,
wondering that because I've definitely seen that like on it, like definitely like interviews and stuff. Okay, so you're in there, and while you were in there, we did see some IG stories of you. You were posting some stories. You're like,
yeah,
you were just like live in the cell, bro. Like we're like all of us in the outside. We're like just like sending it to each other. Like how is Serge? Like how does he have a cell phone? But
yeah.
how did you get a cell phone? And was like, were you able to be doing that?
I mean, if you good people, you know what I mean. Paperwork clean, you got some benefits. They let you check out the phones, able to call your family and get there.
Bro,
Like, hey, bro.
you were posting stories like,
Yeah, bro. I was just living. I was showing y'all the life how it was in there. You know what I mean. Even though I was locked up, I was trying to make the best of it.
so
Shout out everybody.
did you get caught with that cell phone or no?
Ain't gonna lie, I did.
Was it like randomly come in and search, or like their snitches like that kind of told on it?
I'll say both, cause at the end of the day, like, there's still gonna be a jail rat. Somebody always gonna fucking be telling somebody something, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, man, I got, you know what I mean? But they do random searches, but just people just be greedy. People just be
And that was like in
hating.
23, like 22, like you already had been in there for like 2 or 3 years. So I feel like you posting like made us like think like, yo, Serge is coming home. Like we're like, yo, he's on the way out. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people thought that.
and
like,
then like another year goes by and I'm like, he's still not out. Like, and then you stopped posting and we're like, dang, like that probably was not like good that he had a phone.
yeah, I got caught up with a phone. They took away some good time from me.
Oh, they
But,
added, did you get like more time for that?
yeah, I got more time for it. They took away like every time you get caught up with a phone, they take away like 41 days. It's like 100 series shot. So crazy.
So did you think about skating while you were locked up? Like, be honest.
Yes,
Like, okay.
I mean, honestly, I did, but then I was just like, man, I'm doing my time in here, so I can't think about that.
That's
like,
when
the
you
things
started to
out
think
there.
about music more.
But
and writing and
I
stuff.
started thinking about music. I'm like, man, like, what's the best thing I could do in here? You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm locked up with artists. Like, I'm locked up with a bunch of like musicians and stuff like that. So I knew, like, you know, like I was in Beaumont. Finesse 2 times. He just got released from Beaumont. I don't know where he was at. I ain't gonna lie.
A lot of people go to
Yeah,
Beaumont. So.
Beaumont, like, and you know, it's like ain't nobody want to go to Beaumont, bro. They call Beaumont Bloody Beaumont, like for a reason. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody want to go there. When I went to Pollock, I ain't gonna lie, Pollock was sweet.
It was not as bad as Beaumont.
Yeah, it was.
So you weren't really like, you were thinking about skating. You were like, damn, like, you know, like
Yeah,
here and there, you know what I'm
I
saying?
was like, I'm
But-
getting older, you know what I mean? And I was just like, man, but I was like, but something inside just telling me like, man, I miss skateboarding so much. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie though, like when I was in there, like I'll pretend like I'm fucking like trying to do like a front feeble like on my toilet in my cell, you know what I mean? I'll just pretend like I'm about to ollie and I try to do a front feeble and I just try to hold it as long as I can. And I'll jump off of it and I look at myself in the mirror and I just start laughing. I was like, man, I miss this. Like, I miss this stuff so much. Like, it was like that feeling like, man, I need to get back to it. You know what I mean? Because I felt so alive. I felt so healthy, so like focused and stuff. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
knew
no,
like,
skating is like something that is like unique because there's really no rules.
no rules.
There are preferences with like style and like tricks and like what we consider like, I guess, illegal tricks or whatever. But other than that, you can basically skate the way you want, when you want. No one's making you skate. If you're not like on a big, you know, team you're getting paid. Like skateboarding's so original and it's like,
yeah, it's more like an expression.
it's an expression. So it's like, it's never any pressure. So people who stop it, they can come back and they do come back because it's like so like freeing and stuff. It's like freedom
It was crazy,
to
bro.
ride.
Cause man, knowing that, bro, like even in there, like the guards will pull up my videos on the computer sometimes, and I was just like, "What?" They'll be like, and the inmates will just be like, "Man, this is him." You know what I mean? Like, man, he's really talented. He really got something. A lot of people will like punch me hard. They'll be like, "Bitch, what the fuck you got locked up for?" Woo woo. And I was just like, man, chill out. You know, woo woo. They're like, "Man, what you got locked up for?" Man, you had talent, bro. What's going on, bro?
So
like, man, I was just like, I know, bro. I just get what's hanging around with the wrong crowd. You know, say less. You know what I mean? That's what happened. And it is what it is. I told him straight up, like, fuck.
Well, I do want to say that just so you know, I mean, people believe in you and you're skating. I think you know that you see that, you know, we all know that you got that next gear where you crank up that next notch and you drop like crazy hammers, man, crazy tricks, and the talent's there, man. So
Yeah.
I just want to give you your flowers, bro, and let you know like you're one of them ones, bro. Like on from the city, bro. Like
Oh, yeah, bro. I appreciate that.
you've done a lot of crazy tricks and like it's nothing to you. I feel like that was like touching the iceberg. Like I'm real big on present moment, but like if you wouldn't have got locked up, bro, I mean like you could have cranked it up even more. Cause
Yeah.
like, did you ever get hurt like through skating? Have you ever been hurt? Like
Yeah, a bunch of times. That's what comes with it.
have you ever gotten like sidelined for like a year?
I wouldn't say that long, bro, but there was times where I slammed my face on the ground and I was just like, man, like, this
You
what I
gotta
want
pay
to
to
do?
play.
I was like, man, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? And I said, fuck it. That's what I want to do. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
real-
Like,
that's a
you know
real
what I
skater
mean?
right
Like, I said, fuck it. Like, this This is what it comes with. You know what I mean? It's fun, dude. The people, everybody, bro. Everybody show love. It's a big community. People don't understand how far like skateboarding has gone. You know what I mean? Like it's a big impact in my life. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna stop skateboarding, even when I'm like 60.
For sure, bro. Even Tony Hawk still killing it.
Yeah, shout out Tony Hawk.
And
For sure.
I don't know. There's a lot of older heads that are skating still. I'm trying to think of
shout out
older
Nigel,
pros.
My inspiration.
Oh yeah, that's coming up too. I'm about to ask you some questions about who inspired you to get booked like you do.
Yeah.
But all right, so okay, so you get released. You know, what was that? Did you know like coming up, or they just like woke you up one day like, yo, you're out, dude, get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna lie, bro. Like when I was locked up in there, like a lot of people tell me that a bunch of laws were finna change, and I was just like I said, I wasn't never trying to get my hopes up. I'm like, man, like I don't believe it until I see it. Then next thing you know, I'm in solitary for a phone. I got caught up with a phone, and then I was just like, I was in solitary, and then I remember I was like really getting in tune with God, you know what I mean? Because I'm locked up like in a closet for like 6 months, probably like 7, and just like thugging it in there, like right before I'm about to come home over a stupid ass cell phone and shit. Like, and then next thing you know, I was just like,
do people ever like, not to interrupt you, but do people ever like completely lose their mind in there and just start?
I mean, there's some strong people. I mean, sometimes it breaks you. You know what I mean?
But it made you stronger, bro.
It does, bro. It makes you realize, like, bro, like you could really live without a bunch of stuff. But really, it's just like it just teaches you a lot of patience and a lot of discipline. You know, for sure. Cause I remember I was in solitary, and you know what I mean. I got really in tune with my inner self, and you know my spiritual wellness and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was really trying to get to know myself, like what I love to do, what makes me happy, what the
Important,
things that you know what I mean, what the things that I want to do, what I want to do when I get out, how can I like guide my little brothers, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, you know what I mean. I just picture like next thing you know, like I get a mail coming in from like this like lawyer out of nowhere, like a blessing. I remember I was asking God like, man, get me out of here. Next thing you know, I get a letter and they're like, hey, you're qualified for like you know what I mean, for the new laws that are passing, you know what I mean, so you may come home sooner. And I was just like, I bet. So pretty much I was almost done with my sentence, and they say it took away, I think, like almost 6 months, but it didn't affect it until February 1st, and my release day was March 18th. So I really got a month knocked out. So
Damn.
it's crazy.
So okay, so you get released eventually, 2024, February 2024, and I guess you're coming from there. You're going straight to San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, see, when you get out, it's either I was in Louisiana when I got out. You know what I mean? So
I thought you were in Texas when you got out.
No, I was in Pollock, Louisiana, and then I got out, and I told my mom, man, I'm finna come home. They said, you know, February 1st was gonna be my release date, and I called my mom. Man, like I said, like in solitary, you only get like 15 minutes a month to call your family. You know what I mean? And you got to stretch it out in like 1 month. So I call my mom. I say my manager to call my mom. Hey, mom, I'm probably going to come home on February 1st. But I said, I was like, I don't want you to come and get me and then I don't get out. It's just like, so don't come pick me up. And I told her like straight up, like, hey, just wait. And I tell you if you need to come get me, you know what I mean? But she's in Texas. And I was just like, you know what? If I do get released, I was gonna take the bus to Houston, and then you just come pick me up. She was like, okay, I'll do that. And I was like, all right, bet.
So then that's what you did. You got out. You went to Houston.
Yeah, I got
then
released.
You got scooped up over there.
February 1st. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So, what's next for you, bro? This year we got about 4 more months to 2024, and going into 2025. What do you want to accomplish within the next year?
I mean, a lot of new things. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I really got going for myself, but I'm trying to take it, like
one step
slow. I don't want to, one step at a time. I don't want to rush too much things. You know what I mean? Right now I'm working. My probation officer got me working right now. I really don't want to work because it's just like, but I need to because it's like a little routine to help me get my head straight. But I feel like I do a bunch of things. You know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm working on a lot of stuff. Really just trying to, and get up, get back on my feet. You know what I mean? Stack up season. It's for
Absolutely.
sure.
For sure, bro. Any homies you want to give a shout out to, either behind bars or just in general? Like,
Man, yeah. Shout out Bodie. He doing live in Beaumont, Texas. I hope one day you come home, bro. You really kept it 100 with me, and you was like a real homie. And shout out to everybody out here, man. Shout out the whole, Day Sticks doing their thing. Shout out, you know what I mean? Shout out Lil District. Shout out Southtown Skateboards. And, shout out my boy Damien. Shout out my boy Damien, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like, you probably got something cooking up soon. You know what I mean? Something for the people. I can't say too
damn.
much, but
That's what we want to see, bro. That's what we want to see.
Yeah.
Well, man, I wanted to end it with some questions that we got from some supporters and like just people that I sort of like, look to for some questions here. And they just want to know the following, bro. Who's your favorite skater? Or who was your favorite skater growing up?
Man, Paul Rodriguez, bro. Man, what? Paul Rodriguez, bro. The first one to get signed to Nike.
Yeah.
What?
Legend
For sure. Hey, Paul Rodriguez, if you're watching this, bro, all love.
Legend.
Bro.
What was the first thing you ate when you got out?
Popeyes. Louisiana. I always got out in Louisiana. So I hit a Popeyes, bro. I was like, man.
What did you so in jail is the same food all the time?
I'll say yeah, they got like in prison, they got like the same thing. Yeah. Like Mystery Mondays. Tuesdays was like Taco Tuesdays, and then Wednesday was burgers, Thursday was chicken, and then Fish Friday.
Did y'all make like any of those spreads and stuff, or like any?
Yeah, I'll get down with the
desserts
spreads,
and like
what? It was like just cooking stuff up. You know what I mean? Sometimes
you gotta
we'll
get
grill.
creative.
Yeah, we get stuff. We'll be unplugging the walls, cooking, grilling. You know what I mean? Using the electricity just to burn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's tight.
Okay. When's the next skate park coming out, or what do you got planned for your next part, if any?
Like I said, I got some on my boy Damon cooking. So I don't want to speak on it too much, but you know what I mean? Just know I'm out.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
So okay. What are your favorite spots to hit? Like it could be park or just like skate spots we have here that you've like enjoy, like y'all want to go there, or like in the past, like something you look forward to going to.
I mean, I want to go back to Vegas, bro. Vegas is where it's at, bro. Like even there, because we're so close to Cali, bro. It's just because I say Vegas because like we get a lot of love from there, me and my boys. So and Cali is just 2 hours away, and we're really trying to hit. I remember when I went to Hollywood my first time when I was like 15, 16 with Damien and shit. Like we were just like 17-year-old kids, fresh out of high school. Not even fresh out of high school. That was like sophomore year, summer and shit. And man, we were getting love out there. We were out there with Steven Fernandez before he got
he had some weird case.
Fried. He got fried, and I was just like, man,
baby scumbag.
Yeah, baby scumbag, man, that was crazy.
Okay, all right. So Vegas, okay, Cali for sure. Been there. One thing the world doesn't know about you.
I'll say, I'm unexpected. You know what I mean? People don't know like what I could bring to the table. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like it's all about creativity. You know what I mean? And I feel like I got a vision, and I see where I want to see my boys at, and I see where I want to be at. You know what I mean? Like San Antonio, like I want to put San Antonio in the map. You know what I mean? Shout out San Antonio because it's where I grew up from, and I can't leave it behind too. Nice. But more things to move forward to too. So I want to catch some eyes from like New York and Cali and stuff, just to look at it different. You know what I mean? So
how has the skate scene like changed from when you were like coming up till now, since you like got out? Anything you notice or not?
I mean, a lot of people tell me that I was like a glue to a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was a glue to a bunch of people that knew each other, and I felt like when I left, a lot of people just like scattered. You know what I mean? A lot of people were just like, and I was just thinking about that. I was just like, man, was it really like that? I could see like people don't even chill like how they used to back then. I mean, I guess everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? But I was partying too much. I ain't gonna lie. So it probably happened for the best. You
No,
know
for
what I mean?
sure.
Shout out everybody.
Okay. If you wrote a book about your life, what would the title be?
It'll be I say right now, I mean, I'm not there where I wanna be at right now, but when I do, I'll call that book Credentials. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're on a deserted island. 3 things you would take.
The skateboard. That's some man, I'll say some. Get a phone. Probably get some help. Probably no service, but I don't know how I'll make it. I'll probably I don't know, get a boat, a phone,
Skateboard, boat, and a phone.
and
That's actually pretty good, dude. I would have
I'll
been
say,
way more.
alright, yeah.
That's a good one. Okay. What's your favorite trick to do?
Tray flips.
Tray flip. Okay. Back 3 or tray flip downstairs?
Back 3.
Which one's harder? You do them both easy. Like they both look like super easy, and I was just like jealous. But like, which one's harder?
I can't say.
The same?
Like the same. They're
Lucky, dude.
They're like
Because you do
equal.
them over huge things with ease. I'm just like, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I'll probably tray flip it first and then back 3. You know what I mean? And then
Psycho.
just to hype it up, you're gonna be like, what?
Okay. Who's an underrated music artist?
Right now, underrated music artist, I'll say. Shout out my cousin Locked Up in Beaumont. I'll say, man, the boy got some talent, bro.
What's he go by? Does he got an artist name?
He goes by J. Lee Wong. You know what I mean?
Bet.
He's real underground. Ain't nobody know him, but he's real in tune. And man, bro got talent, bro. He really put me up on game. I'll say if that was who's my favorite artist, I'll say, man, him. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. It's another question. Would you rather be loved or feared?
I'll say feared.
Gangsta.
Just say so.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. Anybody else you wanna shout out before we get out of here? Like I said, dude, I really appreciate you coming out. I wanted to, like I said, give you your flowers for all the, all the great skating you've done here, and just let you know, man. Like like I told you earlier, you're one of them ones, bro.
No, I appreciate that, bro. I'm glad to come.
I'm glad you're home, bro. Straight up, like it's been a long time. It's been about, like you said, almost 5 years, and like a lot of the homies that they know who they are, but like we're all waiting for you to get out, man.
No, yeah, for sure. Now that I'm out, dude, and a lot of things coming, a lot of good things coming.
Yeah,
sure.
man. If you want to shout out anything else or anybody else, man.
Man,
If
shout
not,
out to everybody on the tone. Everybody that got a good heart, bro. Everybody that didn't believe in me, bro. Like, promise y'all, this time I ain't finna let y'all down. You know.
All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap it up. Shout out to Sergio, and thanks to everybody checking us out. Episode 1. That's a wrap.
Brr.